The Proven Ground catback that we have here today will be one of your more affordable full stainless options on the site for the 2007 to 2013 5.3 Silverado, while also giving you a little bit of flexibility with how you want the system to look. Now, interested 5.3 owners can look forward to that 409 grade stainless steel throughout, including your chambered muffler design, which will allow for an aggressive yet, I would say, modest tone overall. But as is tradition, what do you say we dive headfirst into the sound with the Proven Ground? And as I just described, guys, that chambered muffler design is going to allow for a noticeable increase in volume over the stock system, but without being ridiculous or over the top. And that's probably one of the things I do enjoy most about this system outside of the affordable price point. Listen, if you do want or need the loudest truck on the block, there will be certainly more aggressive options in the category, but if you're looking to make enough rumble while driving around town without driving the wife or kid crazy, this certainly might be for you. So, breaking out my patented Wake the Neighbor scale, I have the Proven Ground coming in at a middle of the road 3 out of 5 on my 1 to 5 or 1 to Wake the Neighbor scale. Now, inside the truck, on the other hand, things do remain relatively quiet, only a little bit of noise noticeable at cruising speeds on the highway. But with the sound covered, let's move into quality and construction. And as I did mention at the very start of this video, gang, this is currently one of your more affordable full stainless steel catbacks for this particular gen and engine Silverado. Now, you can expect that 409 grade stainless steel to be exact. That's kind of your mid-level material between the 304 grade stainless, which is kind of your premium level material, and then rounding out the lower side of the price point is aluminized steel. It's more of your budget-friendly stuff. Now, 409, again, in the middle, still very solid when we're talking about corrosion resistance, and that's going to be great for trucks that see a lot of snow or salt during those winter months. But aside from that full stainless steel build, guys, you're also looking at a combination of 3-inch and 2.5-inch mandrel bent tubing. Your 3-inch does include the flex pipe here. That's going to be before your muffler, after that chambered muffler does split down into 2.5-inch mandrel bent tubing. And then finally, everything is going to exit out of your 4-inch polished tips here. Now, worth noting, guys, those tips are actually made from that top of the line 304 grade stainless we just mentioned. And that's great, right? Because that's ultimately the part you're going to see the most of. Price point is going to live in that mid to high $500 range, but maybe my favorite part about the Proven Ground system here, besides the combination of low price and stainless build, is the fact that they include pipes to make this a dual rear exit configuration or a dual side exit configuration. That's awesome. I always like having options no matter what we're talking about, and the fact they can easily and quickly change up the look of your exhaust by simply swapping out a clamp and a couple pipes is certainly worth noting. And at this point, price point, it's something you really don't see a lot of. And the install, according to the site, is going to get a solid 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, maybe take you a couple of hours to complete from start to finish, as we'll show you later in the video. But outside of the additional piping that Proven Ground throws in for this system, you can also expect things like all of your hardware and clamps, along with your factory style hangers needed to get everything in place from start to finish. But now we do want to segue into that install, and again, you do have some very detailed installation instructions included here, guys. This should be a pretty simple job in the garage or driveway, but if you do still have some questions, feel free to check out our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown now.
For this install, you need 3 impact and ratchet, a 15, 14, and 13 millimeter socket, 14 millimeter wrench, exhaust hanger tool, and also not shown would be a lift and pull jack. All right, today we're going to put an exhaust on our Silverado. First, we're going to watch a quick video how to install a stock system, then we'll come back here to install the new one.
It's going to start with this 13 millimeter clamp holding our factory catback to the cat pipe right here. Grab your 13 socket and loosen that guy up. All right, we don't really need the sockets anymore. We're just going to switch over to a hanger removal tool, which I definitely recommend. Pry bar works as well. This is just a little bit easier. We have a bunch of hangers we need to pop out of some isolators. So grab your hanger tool or something similar, and you're going to basically pry these guys out. Lubricating the hangers definitely goes a long way to make things easier. For that, you can use WD-40 or PB Blaster or something similar just to help it slide out easy. All right, so now we can move down the line and get the next two. All right, for this next step, I have a pull jack underneath of our muffler supporting it. We're gonna pop off the hanger right above the muffler, really right over the axle too. Grab your hanger tool and pop that guy off. having that pole jack or floor jack definitely helps give it some stability there. All right, for this next one, you want to be careful because this is the last piece holding this guy up, so it's going to get pretty loose and wobbly. Once you pop this out, you can take the entire exhaust off all in one piece. All right, so this may be easier with a helping hand if you have a friend on deck to give you a hand doing this, but it can be done by yourself. Just make sure you're being careful because it is still all one piece.
So we're gonna start off at the driver's side rear frame here. We're gonna install our new mount. So you see this large hole in the frame here. We're gonna go to this one right behind it. We have our bolt with a flat washer going through first. Hanger will go like so. On the inside, I know it's gonna be hard to see, but we're gonna have our large square washer and then a locking nut, and then a locking washer, and then a locking washer, and then our nut. Now this is all 14mm hardware, so we'll grab our ratchet with a 14mm socket and a 14mm wrench and tighten that down. So we're gonna start installing our exhaust now. We have our small adapter that's just gonna go over our factory clamp here. So let's get that up, get our factory clamp around, that'll rest there, and now we can get our front pipe on. So I have our front flex pipe here. I already have one of our 3-inch clamps over. That's just gonna slide over our front adapter pipe. And we're also gonna get this hanger into our isolator here. I do have a pole jack here just to help hold everything up. Then next we can get our muffler on. So now we have our muffler. You'll see your large 3-inch inlet with our 3-inch clamp. We're just gonna slide that over our front flex pipe. Just gonna let that kind of hang there until we get our rear pipes on. We're gonna continue along on our passenger side. So we're gonna get our over the axle pipe. Now your passenger one will have 2 hangers built onto it. We have our clamp over our muffler. Just gonna get that in our muffler first, and then we'll get this into our factory hanger right here. And then it also goes into this rear one back here. We can go ahead and get our driver's side pipe on. So for our driver's side over the axle pipe, we're gonna get this up over. We have our clamp here, already on our muffler, and then we're gonna go into this isolator up here. Let's get it into our muffler first. And then we can get this in. Now I have our next section for our driver's side. You'll see I put our supplied isolator, just slip that over the hanger, and we have one of our clamps already over. This is gonna slide into the over the axle pipe and onto the hanger that we installed. Get this up and around. So now here's where you have the option. You can either put your 90-degree on and put your tip out the side. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna go straight out the back. So we're gonna take our S pipe here with one of our clamps already on there. Just get that slipped over. We'll get this adjusted afterwards, but you can go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Then we'll go ahead and start tightening our clamps, starting from the front, working our way back, adjusting as needed. So we're gonna start at the front here and tighten everything down. We have our factory clamp with our 13mm bolt. Grab your impact, 13mm socket, tighten that down. Now for everything else, it's gonna be 15mm hardware. So we have our impact, 15mm socket, tighten this front flange down. Now we have our clamp at the front of our muffler. Now we have our 2 at the rear of the muffler. Tighten those 2 down, adjust the pipes as needed. Next, on our driver's side, we have our clamp right by our shock. Let's tighten that down. All right, so we actually changed to the 90 here to go out the side, honestly, just because I like the way it looks a little bit better. We'll show you both just so you can see. But if you need to, you can just slide a tip over here just to get the right angle of everything before you tighten this clamp down. And once you get the right height, you can go ahead and tighten this one down. And then do the same thing with your tip. It's also the same thing, 15mm socket. And now you can go ahead and do the same thing on the other side with the 90 and your tip. And that wraps up our install of our proven ground dual exhaust system with polished tips for a side exit on our 2007 to 13 5.3 liter Silverado and Sierra 1500. And remember, for everything Silverado, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.